The first thing you notice is the soft warmth spreading across your face. A golden beam of sunlight has found its way through the small gap in the wooden shutters, casting dancing patterns on the rough-hewn wall beside your bed. You breathe in slowly, deeply. The air carries the scent of fresh thatch above your head, mixed with the faint aroma of wood smoke from yesterday's fire, still lingering in the stone hearth nearby. Your fingers find the coarse linen of your sleeping gown, woven from flax that grew in fields much like the ones surrounding this little cottage. The fabric feels familiar against your skin, a reminder of countless villages you've visited, countless looms you've worked, countless threads you've guided into beautiful cloth. As you stretch gently beneath the woolen blanket, you feel the satisfying pull of muscles awakening. Your hands, these hands that know the ancient rhythm of the shuttle, flex slowly, fingers remembering the dance they'll perform again today. The cottage around you tells its own quiet story. Stone walls built thick to keep out winter's bite, a thatched roof of bundled straw and reed, layered with the patience of generations. The floor beneath your feet, packed earth mixed with animal hair and straw, worn smooth by countless footsteps. You sit up slowly, letting your body adjust to the morning. Outside the shutters, you can hear the gentle sounds of the village awakening, the soft lowing of cattle in distant pastures, the creak of a wooden bucket being drawn from the well, the whispered conversation of early risers beginning their day. Your traveling pack rests in the corner, its leather worn soft from many journeys. Inside, your most precious tools wait patiently. The small hand spindle carved from applewood, the bundle of steel needles, each one hammered by a village blacksmith, wrapped carefully in a piece of felt, and your measuring stick, marked with notches that represent the ancient units of cloth. The ell, the yard, measurements passed down through generations of weavers. You rise slowly, feet finding the cool earth floor, and move toward the shutters. Your fingers work the simple wooden latch, and as the shutters swing open, the glory of the medieval morning floods in. Rolling hills stretch before you, covered in a patchwork of green, strips of land divided by ancient agreements, some planted with barley that waves like a golden sea, others dark with freshly turned soil, waiting for autumn seeds. Between them, narrow paths wind like threads in a great tapestry, connecting this village to others beyond the horizon. The air that flows through the window carries stories, the sweetness of wildflowers blooming in untended corners, the earthy richness of soil that has been worked for centuries, the clean scent of morning dew evaporating slowly under the climbing sun. You breathe it in, this medieval morning, feeling your lungs fill completely, then release slowly, matching the gentle rhythm of the world awakening around you. Each breath connects you to this place. This time, this peaceful moment between sleep and the day's gentle work. Behind you, the cottage holds the warmth of hospitality. Last night, the village weaver welcomed you, as traveling craftspeople have been welcomed for generations. sharing bread and ale, stories and techniques, the ancient bonds between those who work with their hands, who understand the patient art of creation. Your stomach reminds you gently of morning hunger, and you remember the smell of fresh bread that drifted from the village bakehouse yesterday evening. The communal oven, built of stone and clay, where each family brings their loaves to bake. The miller's grain, ground between massive stones turned by the patient power of the river, transformed into flour, into dough, into the staff of life. You move slowly through your morning preparations, each action deliberate, peaceful. There's no hurry in this medieval morning. Time moves with the sun, with the seasons, with the natural rhythm of work and rest that has governed village life for centuries. Your traveling clothes await, simple but well made, a linen chemise, soft from many washings in village streams. Over it, a woolen kirtle, dyed the deep blue of woad, a plant you'll gather yourself today if the fields provide. The color reminds you of summer skies, of the Virgin Mary's robes in church windows, of the precious indigo that travels from distant lands along trade routes as old as memory. As you dress, you feel the familiar comfort of clothing made for purpose, not fashion. Each piece designed to allow free movement, to protect without restricting, to last through seasons of wear. The leather of your soft boots, crafted by the village cobbler, molds to your feet like a second skin, ready for the day's gentle walking. The morning light grows stronger, painting the cottage walls with warm gold. You can hear more sounds from the village now. The rhythmic thump of a churn, someone making butter for the day's meals, the distant ring of hammer on anvil, the blacksmith beginning his eternal dance with fire and iron, the soft splash of water, someone drawing from the well that serves as the village's gathering place. You step outside, and the medieval world embraces you. The path from the cottage door is worn smooth by generations of feet, leading toward the village center, past gardens where herbs grow in careful rows, rosemary for remembrance, thyme for courage, mint for digestion, sage for wisdom, each plant a medicine, a flavoring, a small miracle of the earth. The sun climbs higher, warming your face, and you begin to walk slowly toward the day's gentle adventures. Your feet find the familiar rhythm of the traveler, steady, unhurried, in harmony with the medieval morning. Each step takes you deeper into this peaceful world. This time when life moved with the seasons, when work was done by hand, when community meant survival, and beauty was found in the simplest things. The village spreads before you like a living tapestry, thatched roofs catching the morning light, garden plots green with growing things, paths that wind according to the land's natural shape, not the rigid lines of modern planning. Here, in this medieval morning, you are home. You are welcomed. You are part of an ancient story that continues with each gentle step you take. Your breathing settles into the rhythm of walking, slow and steady, matching the peaceful pace of this medieval world. In and out, in and out, each breath drawing you deeper into the experience, deeper into the calm, deeper into the gentle embrace of a simpler time, where beauty and utility dance together, where work is prayer, and where each day begins with gratitude for the gift of light, the gift of shelter, the gift of purpose. The morning mist begins to lift from the distant fields, revealing the full beauty of the valley. And you know that today will bring its own small miracles, its own quiet satisfactions, its own contributions to the great human tapestry of making and creating and caring for one another. The dew still clings to grass blades like tiny crystals, each one catching and scattering the morning light. You walk slowly along the village path, your woven basket resting comfortably in the crook of your arm. Today you'll gather the gifts that nature provides, the materials that will become tomorrow's cloth. Your feet find the ancient rhythm of the gatherer, a pace unchanged since humans first learned to work with fiber. Each step deliberate, mindful, connected to the earth beneath. The soft leather of your boots whispers against stones, worn smooth by countless medieval travelers. The first destination calls to you from across the common pasture, a field of flax, its slender stems swaying gently in the morning breeze. The plants stand tall and proud, their delicate blue flowers already faded, leaving behind the seed pods that rattle softly like tiny bells when the wind moves through them. As you approach the flax field, you breathe deeply. The air carries the green scent of growing things, mixed with the earthy richness of soil that has been tended for generations. Your hands, these hands that know the ancient ways, reach out to touch the stems, feeling for the perfect moment of readiness. The flax whispers its secrets to your experienced fingers. These stems, when properly prepared, will become the finest linen. Linen for the altar cloths in the village church, for the swaddling clothes of newborn babies, for the burial shrouds of the elderly, the complete circle of medieval life, all connected through the patient work of hands like yours. You begin to pull the flax carefully, not cutting, but drawing each plant up by its roots. This ancient technique preserves the full length of the fiber, ensuring the strongest possible thread. Your movements are slow, meditative, a prayer of gratitude for each plant that gives its life to human purpose. The rhythm of gathering settles into your bones. Pull, inspect, place gently in the basket. Pull, inspect, place gently in the basket. The morning sun warms your back as you work, and you feel a deep contentment spreading through your body. This is work that feeds the soul, work that connects you to every weaver who has ever lived. Every hand that has ever guided a shuttle. As your basket fills with the golden stems, you notice the other life sharing this field. Bees move drowsily among the late wildflowers, their legs heavy with pollen. A skylark rises on invisible thermals, its song a thread of joy stitched across the morning sky. Field mice rustle through the grass, going about their own small business, all of creation working together, each playing their part in the great tapestry of life. You pause in your gathering and simply breathe. The air flows in and out of your lungs, matching the gentle rhythm of the world around you. In with the scent of growing things, out with gratitude for this peaceful moment. In with the warmth of sunlight, out with any tension from yesterday's travels. Your body settles deeper into calm, deeper into connection with this medieval morning. From the flax field, your feet carry you toward the next gift. The village keeps a small flock of sheep, and the shepherd has promised you some of the wool from yesterday's shearing. The sheep graze peacefully in a hillside pasture, their thick coats growing again already. Nature's perfect system of renewal. The wool waits for you in the shepherd's stone cottage, fleeces rolled and tied, each one a treasure of warmth and possibility. Your fingers sink into the soft fibers, feeling the lanolin that still clings to each strand. This natural oil, proof against weather and wear, will help your finished cloth last for generations. The shepherd's wife greets you with a smile, her hands busy with her own spinning. The spindle dances in her fingers like a living thing, transforming loose wool into strong thread. You watch for a moment, mesmerized by the ancient rhythm. Twist, draw, wind, twist, draw, wind. A meditation in motion, unchanged since humans first learned to make string from fiber. She offers you a wooden cup of fresh milk, still warm from the morning milking. You drink slowly, tasting the sweetness of grass and wildflowers, the sunshine and rain that fed the pastures. The milk flows down your throat like liquid contentment, connecting you to this place, this community, this web of mutual care. With wool added to your gathering basket, you turn toward the forest edge. Here grow the plants that will provide color for your cloth. The secrets of the dye garden, passed down through generations of village-wise women. Each recipe a small miracle of transformation. You walk slowly among the trees, breathing the cool air that flows like water between the trunks. The forest floor sponges softly beneath your feet, centuries of fallen leaves creating the rich earth that feeds the dye plants. Your eyes scan the shadows, searching for the treasures hidden here. There, a patch of madder root, the plant that will give your cloth its deep red heart. You kneel carefully beside the plants, your knees finding the soft earth, and begin to dig gently with the small knife from your belt. The roots come up easily, their red essence already staining your fingers, promising the rich color that medieval people prized above gold. Further along the forest path, you find lady's bedstraw, its tiny yellow flowers hiding the secret of golden dye. And there, growing near a fallen log, the precious weld, source of the clearest yellow, bright as summer sunshine. Each plant a gift, a possibility, a color waiting to be born. Your movements through the forest are slow, contemplative. Each breath draws in the cool air scented with moss and growing things. Each step connects you more deeply to this ancient rhythm of gathering, of finding what nature provides, of taking only what is needed, leaving plenty for the forest's own purposes. The morning passes like a gentle stream, flowing around and through your peaceful gathering. You find oak galls, fallen from their branches, dark with the tannins that will deepen your blacks and grays. Elderberries, dark, purple, and sweet, for the royal purples that deck feast day clothing. Birch leaves, young and tender, for the soft yellows of spring. As you move deeper into the forest, you come upon a small clearing where a stream bubbles over smooth stones. The water runs clear and cold, perfect for the washing and rinsing that dyeing requires. You kneel beside the stream and cup the water in your hands, drinking deeply, feeling the cold sweetness flow through your body like a blessing. The stream sings its ancient song, a music older than human memory. You sit for a moment on a fallen log beside the water, letting the sound wash over you, through you. Your breathing slows to match the rhythm of the flowing water. In with the forest coolness, out with the warm contentment of successful gathering. In with gratitude, out with any lingering hurry from the modern world. Your basket grows heavy with the morning's treasures: flax and wool, roots and berries, leaves and bark, all the raw materials for creating beauty, for transforming the gifts of nature into cloth that will warm bodies, decorate homes, mark celebrations, serve sacred purposes. Your hands have gathered not just materials, but possibilities. The sun climbs higher, filtering through the forest canopy in gentle shafts of light. Time to return to the village, to begin the next phase of the ancient process. Your feet find the familiar path, worn smooth by generations of gatherers like yourself, each step taking you back toward community, toward the shared work that binds people together. As you walk, your breathing settles into the rhythm of homecoming. The weight of the basket feels good against your arm, a satisfying reminder of work well done, of gifts received, of the endless generosity of the natural world. Your body moves in harmony with the medieval morning, unhurried, purposeful, content. The village appears ahead, smoke rising gently from cottage chimneys, the promise of shared meals, shared stories, shared work. Your gathering is complete, but the true work, the work of transformation, is just beginning. And in that knowledge, in that anticipation of creation, you find a deep and lasting peace. The village square opens before you like a living tapestry. Stone cottages frame the space, their thatched roofs golden in the climbing sun. And there, in the place of honor beneath the spreading oak tree, stands the great community loom, waiting for your practiced hands. You approach slowly, reverently. Your fingers trail along the smooth wooden frame, worn silky by countless hands before yours. Oak timber cut from the village forest, seasoned through long winter months, shaped by the carpenter's patient skill. This loom has served the community for 3 generations, and will serve 3 more, if the wood spirits are willing. The morning air carries the sounds of village life beginning. The rhythmic thump of butter churns, the distant lowing of cattle, the soft voices of neighbors greeting each other across garden fences. All of it weaves together into the peaceful symphony of medieval community, a music that has remained unchanged for centuries. You begin to prepare the loom with the ritual care that such work deserves. First, the warping, stretching the long threads that will form the foundation of your cloth. Your movements are slow, deliberate, each thread positioned with the precision that comes from years of practice, decades of devotion to the craft. The flax you gathered this morning, now processed into linen thread, gleams pale gold in the morning light. You measure each strand carefully, using the measuring stick carved with ancient marks, the L, the yard, measurements that connect your work to weavers across all of Europe, a shared language of cloth and measurement, older than any written word. Other villagers begin to gather, drawn by the familiar sight of a traveling weaver at work. Old Margaret settles herself on a wooden stool, her gnarled hands never stopping their own spinning. The spindle dances between her fingers like a living thing, turning wool into the thread that you'll weave tomorrow, or next week, whenever the pattern calls for it. Young Anna brings her mending, sitting cross-legged on the packed earth, her needle flashing silver as she repairs a tear in her father's tunic. Her movements are quick, efficient, but her eyes never leave your hands. Learning, absorbing, preparing for the day when she too will be a keeper of the ancient knowledge. The rhythm of the loom begins slowly. Your right hand guides the shuttle through the shed, carrying the weft thread across the warp. Your left hand beats the thread into place with the wooden beater. Its sound echoes off the cottage walls. Thok, 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 a percussion that has marked human industry since looms were first invented, since humans first learned to interlace threads into cloth. You breathe deeply as you work, letting the rhythm settle into your bones. In as the shuttle passes through, out as the beater falls, in with the scent of linen and wool, out with any tension from your shoulders. The loom becomes an extension of your body, your breath, your heartbeat, all working together in the ancient dance of creation. Margaret begins to hum an old song, older than the village church, older perhaps than the Christian faith itself, a song that weavers have hummed for generations. Its melody rises and falls like the shuttle in your hands, weaving itself into the fabric of the morning, adding another thread to the tapestry of memory. In my grandmother's time, Margaret's voice is soft, weathered like old leather. The patterns were different, more complex. She could weave birds into the cloth, birds so real you expected them to fly away. You nod as you work, understanding. Each generation of weavers carries forward what they can, adapts what they must, lets go of what time has claimed, but always, always The essential knowledge continues, passes from hand to hand, heart to heart, like a sacred flame that must never be allowed to die. The cloth grows slowly beneath your hands, row by row, thread by thread. Each pass of the shuttle adds another line to the pattern, another note to the song. You can feel the fabric taking shape, gaining weight, substance, personality, transforming from separate threads into something greater, something unified, something useful and beautiful. Young Thomas appears at your elbow, the blacksmith's apprentice, his hands still dusted with charcoal from the forge. "How do you keep the edges so straight?" he asks, his voice full of genuine curiosity. You smile, remembering your own apprenticeship, your own endless questions, your own hunger to understand the mysteries of the craft. "Feel the tension," you say, softly, never stopping the rhythm of your work. Too tight, and the cloth puckers. Too loose, and it falls apart. Like life itself, everything in balance. He watches intently as you demonstrate, your hands showing what words cannot fully capture. The shuttle slides through the shed like a fish through water, smooth, effortless, guided by knowledge that lives in your muscles, your bones, your breathing, knowledge that can only be learned through years of patient practice. The sun climbs higher, warming your back as you work. Other crafters join the circle, the potter with his wheel, spinning clay into vessels for storing grain, oil, wine, the wood carver with his sharp knife, coaxing bowls and spoons from blocks of seasoned maple, the leather worker with her awl and thread, stitching harnesses and belts and shoes that will last for years of hard use. All of you working together, sharing the same space, the same air, the same ancient rhythms of creation. Your separate crafts weaving together into the larger tapestry of village life. Each skill necessary, each worker valued, each creation a contribution to the community's survival and beauty. The cloth continues to grow, and you notice young Anna has stopped her mending, is watching your hands with complete attention. You slow your movements slightly, letting her see each step more clearly. The way your fingers guide the shuttle, the angle of the beater, the gentle tension that keeps everything in perfect alignment. "Would you like to try?" you ask softly. The girl's eyes widen, but she nods eagerly, scrambles to her feet, approaches the loom with the reverence it deserves. You guide her hands, feeling her nervousness, her excitement, her natural aptitude for the work. Another keeper of the knowledge, being born before your eyes. Her first passes are clumsy, uncertain, but you remember your own beginning, the fumbling fingers, the tangled threads, the patient guidance of your own teacher. "Breathe with the loom," you whisper. "Let your body find the rhythm. Don't force it. Let it flow." Gradually, Anna's movements become smoother, more confident. The shuttle begins to dance in her hands, tentatively at first, then with growing sureness. You watch her face transform. See the moment when she feels the magic, the ancient connection between human hands and useful beauty, the deep satisfaction that comes from creating something that will outlast your own brief life. The morning passes like flowing water, peaceful, purposeful, productive. The cloth grows steadily, its pattern emerging row by row. A simple design, but one that carries the weight of centuries, the accumulated wisdom of countless weavers, the unbroken chain of knowledge that connects past to present to future. Other villagers come and go, bringing their own work, their own stories, their own contributions to the gentle symphony of community life. The baker with flour still dusting his apron, sharing fresh bread warm from the oven. The herb woman with her basket of healing plants, offering tisanes for tired muscles, remedies for small ailments. The shepherd with news from the far pastures, tales of wolves spotted, weather signs observed, the endless small details that keep a village safe and prosperous. As the sun reaches its zenith, you feel a deep contentment spreading through your body. This is work that feeds the soul, work that connects you to something larger than yourself, to the great chain of human making, of caring, of community. Your breathing settles into perfect rhythm with the loom. In and out, in and out, each breath weaving you more deeply into this peaceful medieval morning, into the timeless dance of creation, into the gentle embrace of work done with love. The sun has reached its peak, casting short shadows beneath the village oak. Your shoulders carry the pleasant ache of morning's work, and your hands, these hands that know the ancient rhythm of the shuttle, rest quietly in your lap as you step away from the loom. The cloth behind you shows the morning's progress, rows of careful weaving, threads interlaced with patience and skill. But now is the time for rest, for nourishment, for the quiet restoration that allows good work to continue. Your feet carry you away from the village square, along a path worn smooth by generations of footsteps. The way winds gently between cottage gardens where herbs grow in careful rows, chamomile and lavender, rosemary and thyme, each plant a small treasury of flavor, healing, fragrance. The medieval pharmacy, growing wild and tended in equal measure. The path descends gradually toward the sound you've been hearing all morning, the gentle music of flowing water, a brook that rises in the hills above the village, tumbles down through forest and meadow, carrying the cold sweetness of mountain spring, the mineral taste of stone, the green essence of moss and fern. You walk slowly, unhurried. Your breathing settles into the rhythm of peaceful movement, in with the scent of wild flowers blooming along the path, out with any lingering tension from the morning's work. Each step takes you deeper into the calm, deeper into the embrace of the medieval countryside, where time moves with the sun, with the seasons, with the natural rhythm of work and rest. The brook appears through the trees like a silver ribbon, catching and scattering sunlight, its voice a constant gentle murmur. older than human memory. You approach the water's edge and kneel on the soft grass, cupping the clear liquid in your hand, drinking deeply, feeling the cold sweetness flow through your body like a blessing. The water tastes of stone and sky, of rain that fell on distant hills, of snow that melted in hidden valleys. It carries no memory of pollution, no taste of distant industry, only the pure essence of earth and weather, the gift of the water cycle, as old as the world itself. You settle yourself on a flat stone beside the brook, worn smooth by countless seasons of spring floods, summer droughts, autumn storms. The stone holds the warmth of the sun, a natural seat prepared by time and weather. You lean back slightly, letting your spine find its natural curve. Your shoulders drop away from your ears. Your breathing deepen into the rhythm of true rest. From your traveling pouch, you draw out the simple meal prepared this morning by the village baker's wife. Fresh bread, still slightly warm, its crust golden and crisp, its interior soft and fragrant with the wheat that grew in the fields surrounding the village. Grain planted, tended, harvested, ground, baked, by hands you know, people you've met, the complete cycle of sustenance, visible and comprehensible. The bread tears easily in your fingers, releasing the yeast-sweet aroma that has comforted humans for thousands of years. You eat slowly, mindfully, tasting the grain, the salt, the patient fermentation that transforms flour and water into nourishment. Each bite connects you to this place, this community, this ancient covenant between humans and the earth that feeds them. With the bread, a piece of cheese made from the milk of village goats, soft, creamy, infused with herbs from the hillside pastures. You can taste the wild thyme, the tiny flowers of clover, the summer sunshine that the goats transformed into rich milk. Then the patient alchemy of the cheese maker, pressing, aging, creating something that will nourish and delight. The water flows past your feet, constant but ever-changing, each drop different, but the stream eternal. You watch small fish dart between the stones, their movements quick and purposeful, perfectly adapted to their liquid world. A kingfisher flashes blue across the water, gone before you can focus on it fully, but leaving behind the impression of wildness, of perfect belonging. As you eat, your body settles deeper into rest. The stone beneath you holds the warmth of centuries of sunlight. Your muscles, worked pleasantly by the morning's weaving, begin to release their careful tension. Your breathing slows, deepens, matches the gentle rhythm of the flowing water. In and out, like the eternal pulse of the stream itself. A butterfly settles on the stone beside you, its wings painted in patterns more intricate than any weaving, orange and black, dotted with tiny spots of white. It rests for a moment, wings slowly opening and closing, breathing in its own mysterious way. then lifts off, carried by air currents you cannot see, following paths you cannot know. A reminder that beauty exists for its own sake, needs no human purpose, asks nothing but to be witnessed, appreciated, allowed to continue its ancient dance. The meal nourishes more than your body. It feeds something deeper, the part of you that craves connection, community, the shared rituals that bind people together across time. This bread, baked in an oven that serves the whole village. This cheese, made from milk given freely by animals cared for by neighbors. This water, flowing from sources that belong to no one and everyone. The complete web of interdependence that makes life possible, meaningful, sweet. You close your eyes and simply listen. The brook's constant murmur, a breeze moving through the leaves overhead, the distant sound of cattle lowing in the village pastures, a church bell marking the hour with bronze voice that carries across the valley. All of it weaving together into the peaceful symphony of medieval life, a music that has continued unchanged for centuries, will continue for centuries more, if humans are wise enough to protect it. Your breathing becomes even deeper, more rhythmic, in with the scent of wild roses blooming along the bank, out with gratitude for this moment of perfect peace, in with the warmth of sunshine on your face, out with any worry about tomorrow's work, in with the sound of flowing water, out with any memory of hurry or stress. Your body knows how to rest, how to restore, how to prepare for the afternoon's gentle labor. A small red squirrel chatters in the oak tree above you, scolding some unseen intruder, defending territory with fierce, tiny courage. You smile at its intensity, its complete commitment to the drama of squirrel life. Then it falls silent, and the peace returns, deeper now, more complete, the kind of quiet that exists only in places where humans live lightly on the land, take only what they need, give back more than they consume. Time moves differently here beside the brook, not the urgent tick of mechanical clocks, but the natural rhythm of sun and shadow, of hunger and satisfaction, of work and rest. You have no need to hurry, no schedule to keep beyond the gentle suggestions of your own body, your own spirit, the natural ebb and flow of energy that governs all living things. As you rest, you feel your connection to this place deepening, to this time, this way of life that honors both human skill and natural gifts, where work is prayer, where beauty and utility dance together, where community means survival, and solitude means restoration. Your breathing carries you deeper into this medieval peace, this rhythm of life that nourishes the soul, prepares the spirit, sustains the ancient arts that connect human hands to human hearts across the centuries. The brook continues its eternal song, and you rest in its embrace, letting the sound wash through you, cleanse you, prepare you for the afternoon's weaving, for the evening's satisfaction, for the night's deep and dreamless sleep. The afternoon sun hangs lower now, painting the village in shades of amber and gold. Your hands have completed another section of weaving. the cloth growing steadily beneath your patient fingers. And now you feel the gentle call of evening, drawing you toward the day's peaceful conclusion. You step back from the loom, flexing fingers that carry the pleasant memory of the day's work, rolling shoulders that have held the careful posture of the weaver, letting your body begin its transition from the focused energy of creation to the softer rhythm of evening's approach. The cloth before you tells the story of this medieval day, thread by thread, row by row, each pass of the shuttle a small prayer of attention, a moment of connection between your hands and the ancient craft, between your breath and the patient rhythm of creation. The pattern emerges clearly now, simple, but carrying within it the accumulated wisdom of countless generations of weavers. Other villagers are ending their own day's work. The blacksmith banks his forge, red coals settling into gentle warmth that will hold through the night. The potter covers her wheel, protecting the clay from dust and weather. The baker's wife sweeps flour from her doorstep, scattering it for the birds that will find it with tomorrow's dawn. You begin to fold the day's weaving carefully, your movements slow, reverent, each fold a small ceremony of completion, of gratitude for work accomplished, for threads that held their tension, for patterns that emerged as planned, for the mysterious alchemy that transforms separate strands into unified cloth. The village children have appeared, as they do each evening, drawn by some invisible signal that playtime has arrived. They chase each other between the cottages, their laughter bright as silver bells, their voices weaving together into the joyful music of childhood. Their games are simple, ancient, the same games that village children have played for centuries. Hide and seek among the haystacks, tag through garden plots, the eternal rituals of growing up in safety, in community, in love. You gather your tools with the care they deserve. The shuttle, worn smooth by countless hands, goes into its special place in your traveling pouch. The bobbins, wound with thread for tomorrow's work, nestle together like sleeping birds. The measuring stick, carved with ancient marks, slides into its leather sheath. All of the implements of your craft, cared for, treasured, ready for another day's gentle labor. As you prepare to leave the village square, old Margaret approaches, her own days spinning complete, the basket at her feet filled with skeins of thread, soft and even, spun with the skill that comes from decades of practice. She places a gentle hand on your shoulder, her touch light as butterfly wings, warm as summer sunshine. "Thank you," she says simply, "for sharing the old ways, for keeping the knowledge alive." Her eyes, faded blue but still bright with intelligence, look into yours with recognition. One keeper of ancient wisdom acknowledging another, the sacred trust that passes between craftspeople, the understanding that you are both guardians, both links in an unbroken chain that stretches back to the beginning of human making. You walk slowly from the village square, your feet finding the familiar paths, worn smooth by generations of footsteps. The evening light transforms everything into something magical. Cottage walls glow like warm honey. Thatched roofs gleam gold and silver. Garden plots become tapestries of green and brown, the colors deeper, richer, more vivid in the slanted light. The path leads you toward a small hill overlooking the village, a place where you can watch the sun complete its daily journey, where you can see the full scope of this medieval valley, this pocket of peace preserved from a simpler time. Your breathing settles into the rhythm of gentle climbing, steady, unhurried, each step carrying you higher into the evening calm. From the hilltop, the village spreads below you like a living map. Smoke rises straight up from cottage chimneys in the still air. Gardens patch the landscape in shades of green. The brook that refreshed you at midday catches the light, winding silver through meadows, disappearing into distant forest. The whole scene peaceful, complete, in perfect harmony with the natural world that sustains it. You settle yourself on the soft grass, still warm from the day's sunshine. The cloth you wove today lies folded in your lap, a tangible reminder of work accomplished, of ancient skills applied with love and patience, of the mysterious process that transforms raw materials into something useful, beautiful, lasting. Your fingers trace the pattern, feeling the slight irregularities that mark it as handmade, human, touched by the spirit as well as the hands of its creator. The sun continues its descent toward the western hills, painting the sky in shades that no dyer could match: rose and gold, amber and purple, colors that shift and change even as you watch, reminding you that beauty exists in time, in the moment, never to be repeated exactly, always new, always perfect in its impermanence. A gentle breeze stirs the grass around you, carrying the evening scents of the village: wood smoke and baking bread, the green fragrance of herbs in cottage gardens, the earthy richness of soil settling into night's coolness. Each breath draws these gifts deeper into your lungs, into your memory, weaving them into the tapestry of this perfect medieval evening. Below you, the village begins its nightly rituals. Candles appear in cottage windows, tiny stars of human warmth pushing back the gathering darkness. The church bell tolls the evening hour, its bronze voice rolling across the valley, calling the faithful to vespers, to the ancient prayers that mark day's end, that offer gratitude for work completed, for community preserved, for another day of life lived in harmony with the turning seasons. You close your eyes and listen to the evening symphony, the distant lowing of cattle being brought in from pasture, the soft voices of mothers calling children home, the creak of wooden doors closing against the cooling air, the whisper of wind through grain fields, ripening toward harvest, all of it weaving together into the peaceful music of a medieval evening, a sound unchanged since villages first formed, since humans first learned to live together in mutual care and support. Your breathing deepens with the settling dusk, in with the cooling air, out with the day's accumulated tiredness, in with gratitude for work well done, out with any lingering tension. Each breath draws you deeper into the peace, deeper into connection with this timeless rhythm of labor and rest, of community and solitude, of making and being. The cloth in your lap holds the warmth of your hands, the memory of the day's patient weaving. Tomorrow it will continue to grow, row by row, thread by thread, until it becomes a finished piece, ready to serve its purpose, to warm a body, to grace a table, to mark a celebration, to be part of the great human story of caring for one another through the work of skilled hands. Stars begin to appear in the darkening sky. First one, then several, then countless points of light. The same stars that have watched over weavers, farmers, craftspeople, for thousands of years, the eternal witnesses to human striving, human creativity, human love made manifest in cloth and bread, in tools and shelters, in all the patient arts that make civilization possible. A barn owl calls from the forest edge, its voice ghostly, mysterious, perfectly suited to the gathering darkness. Somewhere in the village, a dog barks once, then settles, satisfied that all is well, that the community sleeps safely, protected by the ancient bonds of mutual care, the invisible threads that bind neighbor to neighbor stronger than any woven cloth. The temperature drops slightly, and you draw your woolen cloak closer, feeling the warmth that some long-ago weaver, some patient hands like yours, created on a loom much like the one you work today. The wool holds the memory of sheep that grazed these very hills, of shepherds who knew their names, of fleeces sheared with care, processed with love, woven with skill that passed from mother to daughter, master to apprentice, generation to generation, an unbroken chain of knowledge, of caring, of creating beauty that serves. Your eyelids grow heavy with the peaceful tiredness that comes from meaningful work, from a day spent in harmony with ancient rhythms, with natural processes, with community purpose, the kind of fatigue that invites deep sleep, restorative dreams, morning's fresh energy, ready for another day of gentle labor, another day of adding your thread to the great human tapestry of making, of caring, of creating beauty in a world that hungers for it. The village below settles into deeper quiet. Most windows now show only the faint glow of banked fires, the warm heart of each home, ready to spring back to life with tomorrow's dawn. The paths between cottages empty of footsteps, but full of the invisible presence of community, of shared purpose, of lives woven together by mutual dependence, mutual care, the understanding that we are all threads in a larger pattern, all part of something greater than ourselves. You begin to make your way slowly down the hill, your feet finding the familiar path even in the gathering darkness, each step carrying you back toward shelter, toward rest, toward the deep sleep that will restore your body, refresh your spirit, prepare you for tomorrow's gentle adventures. The grass whispers against your footsteps. The night air caresses your face, and you breathe deeply of the medieval darkness. Clean, quiet, full of the ancient peace that comes from living close to the earth, close to the natural rhythms that govern all life. The cottage where you'll spend the night appears ahead, its windows glowing softly with candlelight, promising warmth, safety, the simple comfort of walls and roof, of a bed made ready by caring hands. The door opens at your approach, and you step inside, into the embrace of medieval hospitality, into the ancient understanding that travelers must be welcome, sheltered, cared for, because we are all travelers, all making our way through the brief journey of life, all dependent on the kindness of strangers who become, for a moment, family. You prepare for sleep with the same careful attention you brought to your weaving, each garment folded with care, each tool placed in its proper position, ready for tomorrow's use. The simple rituals of evening, unchanged for centuries, connecting you to every weaver who has ever lived, every traveler who has ever sought shelter, every human being who has ever found peace in the gentle rhythm of work and rest, of making and being, of community and solitude. The bed receives you softly, straw mattress covered with linen sheets, woven by hands like yours, from flax like what you gathered this morning. The woolen blanket settles over you like an embrace, warm, comforting, holding the memory of sheep and shepherd, of spinner and weaver, of all the patient hands that created this simple comfort, this perfect end to a perfect medieval day. Your breathing slows, deepens, settles into the rhythm of approaching sleep, in with gratitude for this day of gentle work, out with any lingering thoughts of tomorrow, in with the peace of community, out with any echo of the modern world's hurry, in with the deep satisfaction of meaningful labor, out with everything except the present moment. This medieval night, this ancient peace, this timeless rest. The candle burns lower, casting dancing shadows on the cottage walls. The village settles into complete quiet, except for the eternal murmur of the brook, the whisper of wind through thatch, the soft sounds of a world at peace. Your eyelids grow heavier, your breathing slower, your body melting into the embrace of the simple bed, into the comfort of safety, of shelter, of belonging to something larger than yourself. Sleep approaches like a gentle tide, washing away the day's small concerns, carrying you toward dreams of flowing water, of threads dancing in morning light, of the ancient rhythm of the shuttle, the eternal dance of creation. Your last conscious thought is gratitude for this day, for this work, for this community, for the privilege of carrying forward, even for a moment, the sacred knowledge of the weavers, the keepers of beauty, the guardians of the ancient arts that connect human hearts across the centuries. And then, sleep, deep, peaceful, restorative, filled with dreams of golden cloth and flowing stream, of village squares and community looms, of the eternal dance between human hands and natural gifts, between individual skill and communal purpose, between the threads we weave and the pattern they create together. In the great tapestry of human love, made manifest in cloth, in bread, in shelter, in all the patient arts that make life not just possible, but beautiful, meaningful, connected to something eternal, something precious, something worth preserving, worth protecting, worth passing on to future generations of weavers, dreamers, makers of beauty in a world that will always, always hunger for the touch of caring hands, the gift of human skill, the blessing of work done with love. The night deepens, the stars wheel overhead, the brook continues its ancient song, and you sleep peacefully, deeply, wrapped in the embrace of medieval quietude, medieval community, medieval faith in the goodness of simple work, simple pleasures, simple human connection. Your breathing matches the rhythm of the night, slow, steady, peaceful, carrying you through hours of restorative darkness, toward tomorrow's gentle awakening, toward another day of weaving, of creating, of adding your thread to the endless human story, of beauty, of care, of love made visible in the patient work of skilled hands, guided by ancient wisdom, sustained by community, blessed by the eternal dance between human creativity and the generous gifts of the natural world. Dawn arrives again with its usual grace, the first rays of sunlight painting the cottage walls in soft gold. But today, this light is not a call to awakening, but a quiet signal for farewell. The air still holds the scent of dying embers from the hearth, mingled now with the crisp, clean fragrance of morning dew on grass. You breathe in slowly, deeply, a final breath of this valley's unique air. Your heart is not heavy with departure, but full with a quiet gratitude. Gratitude for the shelter, for the shared bread, and for the knowledge that flowed between hands and hearts. You rise from the bed, your body not recalling yesterday's fatigue, but feeling a calm energy born of deep, restorative sleep. Your traveling clothes, the familiar linen and wool, await. Each piece holds the memory of other villages, other looms, but today, the memory of this peaceful valley is woven into them as well. Before you shoulder your pack, you look one last time at the cloth you began yesterday. It rests on a small wooden stool, carefully folded. Its simple pattern glows in the soft morning light, not a complex masterpiece, but an honest product of hand and heart and patience. This cloth will stay here, a gift for the hospitality you received, a thread of your own life woven into the fabric of this community. The host's wife enters with a bowl of warm milk and a piece of bread, a silent offering of farewell. No words are needed. A shared smile and a nod of mutual understanding are enough. It is the ancient ritual of seeing a traveler off, a bond formed beyond language. As you step out of the cottage, the cool morning air kisses your face. The village is awakening again with its familiar symphony, the distant, rhythmic ring of the blacksmith's hammer, the creak of a bucket at the well, the soft murmur of neighbors' greetings. Today, this music is a gentle hymn of parting. You walk toward the village square. The great community, Loom, stands silent and patient under the ancient oak. Young Anna sees you from a distance. She holds a small spindle, her hands practicing the ancient motions, still uncertain but full of intention. She waves, and you return the gesture with a warm smile. The flame of knowledge has been passed. Your pack feels light on your shoulders, balanced by the satisfaction of work done and connections made. As you pass the villagers beginning their day, there are quiet nods and soft-spoken wishes for a safe journey. You see old Margaret, who simply places a hand over her heart, a silent acknowledgement from one keeper of the craft to another. Your feet find the path leading out of the valley, the same path that welcomed you. The patchwork of fields, the winding stream, the thatched roofs, they are no longer new sights, but cherished memories. The village becomes a living tapestry receding behind you, a complete picture of lives woven together in mutual care. You stop on the ridge, the same one where you watched the sunset, and you look back one last time. The morning mist is lifting, and the valley is held in a perfect, peaceful moment. Your breathing settles into the rhythm of the traveler. In and out, in and out. With every inhale you draw in the memory of this place, the scent of wood smoke, the taste of fresh bread, the sound of the loom. With every exhale, you release a silent blessing for the people who call it home. The road ahead is not an unknown, but a continuation. It promises other villages, other looms, other hands eager to learn the ancient dance of the shuttle. You are a thread in the great human tapestry, moving from one part of the pattern to the next, connecting them with the sacred knowledge you carry. And so you turn from the valley and face the horizon. Your feet find their steady, unhurried pace. The sun warms your back, and the medieval world embraces you once more, not with a welcome, but with the quiet promise of the journey. And you, the traveling weaver, walk on, a keeper of the craft, a guardian of the knowledge, a single, vital thread in the endless, beautiful story of human connection.